Hello, friends, and welcome to the WTF cast episode 8. Last year in May, I was able to take a couple of days off and visited Portugal for the first time in my life. I had no idea really what to expect. I've been to Spain, I've seen Italy, France, of course, and I kind of thought it would be something similar. But in actual fact, it was completely unexpected. Nothing really was as I thought it would be. And the best way to describe it was I was sitting there in a restaurant looking out the window, eating my kind of fish and vegetable meal. And I looked at people, I looked at the way they were acting with each other, and I looked at the clothes they were wearing, and the way they walked, and the way they talked. And I thought, this is like a kind of a warm version of Scotland or Aberystwyth or Liverpool or something like that. It felt far more familiar than I expected. Anyway, I needed an expert to dish the dirt on what really is the essence of Portugal, and I think I managed to find one. So enjoy episode 8.
We're here today to talk about what's the 3 Fs or something?
Yes, what's the 3 Fs? And with imposed topic, you told me, why don't you talk about Portugal? Okay, Portugal. Let's trick him into the 3 Fs. Has he ever heard about it? We talked earlier, and you said you just discovered about what Fatima is. So what are the 3 Fs? Also, have you looked at it or not?
Fado, football, Fatima.
Yes.
But it's a kind of a... it was a parody of something that Salazar said, which was God, country, and family.
Yeah, it's a parody, but it was also, what the people want, games and bread. So it was almost the same thing during his dictatorship. He was like, let's give them Fado, let's give them football, and let's give them Fatima, and we'll keep them quiet.
And this guy was in power for 32 years.
Yes.
That's insane.
Crazy guy, I also learned about him, looked about who he was, and big crisis, of course, at the end of the 20s in Portugal, and he was just the Minister for Finance, and Portugal was broke, and he said, okay, I can be the Minister for Finance, but this is not working, so actually you need to give me full power.
Of course.
And they gave him the full power, and that's when it was the start of what they call new state, Estado Novo, beginning of dictatorship. And yes, for a long time.
And when he died in, 68 or something, was Portugal less broke and better than it was when he arrived?
Yeah, totally poor, glued into the colonial wars. Like a lot of people fleeing Portugal, either to work outside immigration because Portugal was too poor, or also fleeing the dictatorship because there was only one party. All the other parties were forbidden, so there was no other politics. So no, it was not better. It was just a hard dictatorship. It was not as hard as Franco or Mussolini or these other guys. Actually he didn't go to war. Same. He said, like Churchill said, I only have tears to offer you and blood. So he said, I'm not gonna give you war, but you're gonna be very miserable. You're going to be hungry.
So Portugal was officially neutral, but I remember that they did actually help the British on a couple of occasions because of the extremely old, what's it called, the kind of entente between Portugal and England, which is like 1,000 years old or something. No?
Yeah. But they were neutral. Lisbon was a spy nest. All the spies were there. A lot of Jewish gold transited to Portugal as well. So, it was playing on both sides, but in the end, really helping the Allies because of those islands that he has, the Azores and everything in the Middle Atlantic. So,
Before we talk about the three Fs, I'm very, very intrigued that you. I mean, it's kind of true, but you said the imposed subject. What would have been your preferred subject?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
So there you go.
No, but you're right, because I didn't really have an idea, and in the end, it's a good one. No, it was more about the fado. I was really like scared. My God, he really thinks I'm a specialist, and I'm not. And also, what you wrote about how I spoke about fado, and I was like, that's not me. I never said
you're
such
like
a
one
thing.
of the only two Portuguese people I know. So no, it was. But I think we agreed that you talked about listening. You could listen to it all night rather than sing it all night, and I just misunderstood you.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're not going to give us a song then, no?
No, but actually, and given the circumstances and how we are recording this, it's not possible. But I had a few songs in mind. Can we make it musical? Because I have a few songs that I would like to share with you. But
give me the titles and I'll put it underneath while we're speaking.
I will then after. No, I was more afraid about the fado, but Portugal, fine. So yes, the three Fs. So. Yeah.
Are you a big fan of the three Fs as well? Where are you on the three Fs?
I'm a big fan of football. Yes, indeed. Actually, I've always been, but not like World Cup, Champions League, or the European Championship that's coming this summer. So I always, when it's time for these tournaments, I always know what I'm watching on TV, and I can watch football all day. You know, when it starts in the morning and you have them until the end of the afternoon. I just subscribe to Bein, and I'm on Bein watching all the games.
Oh, okay.
And then
do you think Portuguese people have a different relationship to football than French people, for example, when the national team plays? Is it more kind of visceral or something?
Yeah, and definitely Portugal, like any other country, or I would say like England or Wales or whatever. You know, the any other country. I'm sorry for the French, but any other country will support their national team, whatever. Mm. And the French started to like football and starting to be football fans when France won the World Cup. Before that, they had absolutely no clue. Yes, of course, they liked Platini, but you had a few people who liked football. And all of a sudden, they were all like football fans and specialists in football. And you're like, what do you know about football? Then you would talk to them about the World Cups and Pele or other players, and they would look at you with round eyes. Who are you talking about? And then, okay. Okay.
It's probably too much football now. It's gone from not much to you can't, it's everywhere all the time.
No, definitely.
I'm sick of it.
So no, they like football, and they all have. I don't know. You're Welsh, obviously, so I don't know. Is there any Welsh team that I would know of?
Cardiff, Swansea, Newport, and Wrexham are the four professional.
Yeah, Swansea, teams. Cardiff, definitely. Yeah. But every family has his club. You support Benfica, you support Porto, you support Sporting. Benfica hates Sporting. Sporting can tolerate Porto supporters, but definitely not Sporting, really at war. So if your father is from Benfica, you have to be from Benfica. You cannot choose another club. Otherwise, it's war in the family.
What's your club?
Benfica.
Ah.
Yeah, my father is Benfica. Because my father is Benfica.
So you got no choice.
No choice.
It's all our father's fault, isn't it? My team is in the 4th division in the English League. And it's my father's fault as well, and it's terrible. And every weekend of my whole life is ruined by them supporting this really bad team. So that's football. Fado? How would you describe fado?
Well, fado at the beginning is a popular music, that came from the poor neighborhoods in Lisbon. But you have two different kinds, actually. You have the one that Amalia sings, that one, that fado from the taverns, and that's very talking about life and which is more popular, say.
Melancholic. and stuff, or is that the other one?
Say again? Melancholic.
Melancholy
Yeah, it's always very
sadness.
melancholic, the fado. It's always. But then you also have the fado from the students. Every university in Portugal has a group, a band called Tuna. And they sing popular songs, but they also sing fado their way. And it's always a band singing. And it's also very beautiful to listen to. That's one of those that I would like you to listen to. I'll send that title to you. Because it's very different from hearing just one singer with a beautiful voice. But the students also singing fado, it's absolutely wonderful. That's the one I like, actually.
Is it always a female voice?
No, definitely not. You have a lot of Portuguese, of male singers, Carlos do Carmo. And the students, usually the tunas are made of men, not women. You don't have feminine tunas. But I've never seen. I'm not saying that they don't exist, but I've never seen a feminine tuna. It's always guys.
When you listen to fado, specifically, because that was one of the three Fs. I mean, and the reason I said it was because I told you I went to Portugal for the first time in my life in May.
Yeah.
And after about 12 hours of looking at it and thinking, what the hell is this place? I basically fell in love with it because it felt like a warm version of Wales or a warm Scotland or something. The sea, simple people doing their stuff, none of this pretentiousness. What does the music say about the kind of the soul of Portugal, Portuguese people, or is it a cliche and not necessarily the reality?
No, it's not a cliche. Portuguese are very melancholic people, so because also they were sailors, so it talks a lot about the sea and life and the hard life when you're living in the mountains as well. There's a lot of also fados about there's one from Amalia that's called Povo que lavas no rio, the people who do the laundry in the river, and it's about that. It's about that way of life, and it's always very it's melancholic, it's sad. So it's about the Portuguese soul. Actually, they're like that. They're very proud, but also a lot looking at the past with nostalgia. They were a great discoverers, not conquistadores, but discoverers at sea.
Age.
But after that, becoming poor, becoming a poor country, a lot of hardship. The songs are mostly about that, and that's how they are. They have that nostalgic soul. They talk about those hard moments in life. Fado is not a happy song. Actually, it's about either heartbroken or hard life or whatever. Then otherwise it would be a popular music, and I can also send you popular music popular, not like a pop, like a song from Amalia that actually Dalida also covered, called La Maison sur le Port, and it's a Portuguese song, and when you hear it, it's very happy. So they can also be happy. But fado, it's about the famous feeling called saudade, that's unique to Portuguese, that it's something between nostalgia and regrets. That's what saudade is.
We have a word in Welsh which is hiraeth, which is very similar, but it's kind of nostalgia for something that never existed, a bit, almost. So it's still that kind of really great before, but it wasn't really great before. So it's kind of this uncertain sadness, which always makes for good music and good art. Yeah,
but that the Portuguese also have some Celtic roots. Especially in the north. Actually, the north with the Galicia, they're really like more Celtic ones. Even though, so that's why you have some Portuguese with blonde hair, blue eyes, and that have not been mixed.
Obviously Celtic people have blonde hair.
the very blonde, transparent, almost yours.
It is, I bleached it especially for today, and you can't even see it. So is the gal in Portugal the same as the gal in Pays de Gal, or is it a different gal?
Galicia. I don't know. Yeah, like Spain. I don't know.
Well, Portugal, the Gal.
No, Portugallo.
Okay.
That's where it comes from. So no.
What's Calu? What does that mean?
Galo, but no, I think it comes from the Spanish. So, well, a gal is a rooster, but I don't think it has anything to do with it. It was the name
of the roosters.
It was the name of the province. It belonged to Spain. That's how it was called. But I don't even think that the root is from Port Ugal. Like a port, like because it's really the coast of the Atlantic. I don't even think it's about that.
I was getting interviewed once by some local radio in La Creuse or something in the centre of France after a concert, and the guy was standing in front of me, so there was no reason for him to say this, and he said, "So I really enjoyed your concert." He didn't see it at all, and then he said, "So tell us about Senegal."
Sorry?
Seriously? Senegal? Right, Fatima. Until about half an hour ago, I thought Fatima was this kind of old witch-like woman who had visions, but I'm totally wrong. What the hell is that?
So it's a very holy place in Portugal. It's almost the equivalent, even more popular than like Lourdes or Lisieux in France. Mm-hmm. So, like in 1917, the Virgin Mary appeared to 3 little shepherds. They were 11 and from 8 to 11 years old. And that's the thing. She appeared for the first time on the 30th of May and kept on appearing every month, 30th of June, 30th of July. In August, she didn't come. August is the month of Assumption, Mary's Assumption. She didn't come.
That's right, yeah.
She came back in September because then the little kids reported that they saw the Virgin. So for that, they were really like mistreated and not believed and anything. And so that's what they say happened. She said, okay, I'll come back again on 13th of October, and then I'll perform a miracle. So tell the people to be there because they're about to see something that they've never seen. And so it's 1917. It's the almost the end of First World War, but it's 1917. So you still there are pictures, there are journalists. We're at the beginning of the 20th century, and there were actually journalists there. And they say, even a journalist who was there, people were absolutely not believers, like really like, what the hell's going to happen? Yeah, they said that something strange happened with the sun, like going up and down, up and down, up and down on that day. So a lot of people, maybe you could see actually the gathering, that's for sure. You could also see written report from a journalist saying what happened in Fatima that day, that he witnessed in his own eyes. But also Fatima is also very much known about the fact that she delivered 3 secrets to the little shepherds.
That's right.
And those secrets were kept by the Vatican. So, but one of the first secrets was that Russia was going to turn and not become a country that will not believe anymore. So she forecasted, I don't know, foreseen the end of the Tsars and the beginning of communism.
Right.
That's one of the first things she said. The second secret, what was it about? I don't remember. But the third secret that they kept for a long, long, long time. Nobody knew about it until very long. And actually it was disclosed by John Paul II. Mm-hmm. Because you remember, maybe it was in, I don't know if it was 1981 or something like that, he was shot. Mm. And he didn't die. Mm-hmm. And he didn't die, and he was shot on the 13th of May. So he decided that he was under the protection of the Virgin Mary. So he went to see the last shepherd who survived and asked her to deliver the secret, to tell him what it was about. And so he decided that he would keep the secret for some time. And the last secret was that they've seen like a white shepherd in the middle of a crown, and it was full of blood. And he decided that this vision was him being shot. That the Virgin Mary said that the Pope will be shot dead at some point later in years. So,
The last vision was Benfica 1, Porto 0.
that's the thing. Yeah, no, but that's why Fatima is also known, also by all the Catholics in the world, but also because there was this huge secret. Everybody, and even today, they still think that that was not the third secret. It's just part of it. And
something else.
Yeah, they think that actually there are theories saying that rather than the Pope being dead, it's the end of Catholicism, which is happening as well. So yeah, no, but just one thing, because I'm talking like this, I'm very I'm very passionate about it. You need to know one thing is that I'm not baptized.
You're not baptized?
No, I am the only one in my family who's not been baptized.
Well, at least if you're not baptized, you can't get excommunicated. So
no, definitely. But I'm not baptized, but I know all these stories about all these things because also, very intrigued with it. What is this about? What happened? I want to know.
Yeah, I like that kind of story as well.
And I've been there too. Actually.
Oh, you've been as well?
Yeah, I've been there for several times because my parents are believers, so they want to pray for something, for health or whatever. So they make promises, and then they go to pay the promises. But I must admit that when I went there for the first time in the 80s, it was crowded. There was a lot of people. But last time I went there, I don't know, when was it? Maybe almost 10 years ago now. I really absolutely didn't like what I saw. So no, it's terrible. I'm gonna tell you something. Actually, I don't know who's listening to that, but it was absolutely awful because you buy those candles or even these effigies, like a foot or a heart or whatever in wax that you want to burn and light for the Virgin to protect you.
Right.
But actually, because there are so many people, they made how do you call it, a pyre?
Yeah, and they just chuck it all on.
Yes, and then the wax melts, and it's being taken and to remake a new candles or whatever. It's a never-ending process. It's absolutely
this is so cynical.
Industrial, absolutely awful. That's why when I saw that, I was so shocked. I was like, my God, I don't want to come back here ever. If I want to pray or if I want to do something, I'll do it at home. But coming back here, no.
That was disappointing. Just one last thing. As I said, I had this really kind of cathartic experience in Portugal.
Yes.
What would you say, which is not a cliche and would make people want to go to Portugal? And I don't mean English and German people with football shirts lying on a beach in the Algarve, and that I hate that stuff as well. So, what would people really appreciate, which they won't find anywhere else?
Forget about Algarve, because Algarve is absolutely not Portugal. You're totally right about it.
Yeah.
Go to that Atlantic coast. The only thing is that the weather is very, very cold. It's very, very cold.
I live in Brittany.
Yeah, so for you it might not be a problem, but the problem is that it's so warm outside and the water is like 20, 21 degrees, but outside is 30 degrees. So the difference is it's terrible. But
21 is great. That's wonderful.
Yeah, you need to go. Actually, Lisbon has beautiful beaches. You can go there. All along the coast, you have Santarém, you have all these beautiful cities which are not far from the sea. So stay on the coast, obviously, because the inside, I've read not long ago that it's getting less and less populated. All the people are moving to the coast. And actually, the only part that remains a little bit populated is the part where I come from, which is the highest mountain in Portugal, Covilhã, Guarda. That part, Castelo Branco, is still a little bit populated, but still people are leaving by thousands. But yeah, go to Santarém, go to Nazaré. You know Nazaré. Have you heard about Nazaré?
I've heard about it, yeah.
It's a hot spot for surf, the biggest waves in Europe.
Of course, I am the biggest surfing fan that you'll ever meet.
No, but if you're then interested in history or other things, go to there is a beautiful city called Batalha, and you come to Batalha from the road, and you can see it far away with the castle and the walls and everything. So it's not a cliche. Forget about Algarve. Go anywhere else. Go to Coimbra. Coimbra is beautiful too. The oldest university in Portugal. I've never been to Porto. Actually, I want to go.
Wow.
But I've been in the north of Portugal. I went to Braga, Guimarães. The north is a very beautiful region, very green. It's the Douro, the Vale of the Douro is absolutely beautiful. So if you don't want to go there for the beach,
I won't say anything.
yeah, sorry about the accent. If you don't want to go there to have beach holidays, go to visit and stay anywhere else inside, not far from the coast, but visit any other parts which are always lovely, and the people are also very nice there too.
As long as they don't think that I'm an English football supporter or a German or Polish or something.
No,
it's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that as long as you dress normally, not wearing a football t-shirt, football shirt or a team shirt or whatever, it's okay.
It's so shameful. It's terrible. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I hope that it kept on recording and that I can send it to you now.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
But even if it didn't, it's been really nice talking to you again.
Yeah, me too. You take care of yourself.
I will do, and you too.